Alan Bentz is going to bring me a gavel if y'all don't hurry up. Bam! Okay, we're going to get started whether or not you're seated or not. If I could have your attention back in the back, please. We would ask. It's a tough crowd, isn't it? It's a really tough crowd. We're going to start praying whether or not y'all are quiet or not. Tell you that. Okay, I'm going to ask that we're going to begin. And I'm going to ask that you stand for a prayer and remain standing for the presentation of the colors by the Joint Forces Honor Guard, the invocation, the pledge, and the singing of the national anthem. The colors are being presented by the Joint Forces Honor Guard. Parade the colors. You're coming. And now we're going to have the invocation by the Reverend Henry Hazard.
Let us look to our Lord. Heavenly Father, first of all, we ask that you'd give comfort and strength to the family and friends of Elisa Kinsall. Second, we want to give you thanks for a nation that peacefully transfers leadership. We ask, O God, for our president that you would grant him protection, grant him direction, give him wisdom in the decisions he makes. But also, Father, we ask for your guidance in his selections for his team and for those who will be in other positions later on. But finally, Lord, we want to give you thanks for the privilege of living in Bay County. We want to thank you for all those who've worked so hard for the things that are going to be going on this evening. You tell us to give honor to whom honor is due. And that's what we want to do tonight. Honor those who've worked hard. May we honor you as we honor them. And we want to thank you for this food that we're going to partake of and also the fellowship. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. And now we're going to have the Pledge of Allegiance done by Gigi Carroll and the national anthem sung by Mia Carroll.
I pledge of allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fights o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rackets irregular, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say
Wow. Post the colors. You're doing a much better job. You may be seated. We have a few things to do tonight, and I would hope that you would give your attention, as difficult as it might be, but to give your attention to what goes on. We're going to try to get through the program as quickly as possible, but with a lot of conversation, you won't hear the program, and there's some important things that we're trying to accomplish tonight. The first thing that I would like to accomplish tonight is to recognize our sponsors. Anybody listening out there? Our platinum sponsor is Edgewater Beach and Golf Resort. Our media sponsor is Cleaver Media Works. Our gold sponsors are Barron and Reading, PA, Bill Kramer Chevrolet Cadillac, Buick GMC, Early Education and Care, Geico, Gulf Coast State College, FSU, Panama City, Harrison Sale McCloy, Attorneys at Law, Health South, NAI Talcor, Sweet Bay, and West Rock. I don't know if Dr. Randy Hanna came in tonight. I'm sure he's there somewhere, but he, as you know, is the new dean at FSU. Here I am talking about FSU, one of our sponsors. But let me tell you, I've known Randy Hanna for 30 years at least. He followed me as chairman of the Board of Bar Examiners in Florida. We worked together to raise the pass-fail line required on the Florida bar exam with opposition from every law school in Florida. The Supreme Court agreed with us, and I tell you that because I know that Randy Hanna stands for economic excellence and will do a great job at FSU. Besides that, it makes me really feel good to have a Gator in charge. Now, it's very easy to sit on the sidelines and complain about our elected officials. It's another thing to put yourself in the line of fire, run for office, and serve the community as an elected official. I would like to welcome some of our local elected officials. First of all, I would like to welcome Mike Thomas and all the council members from the city of Panama City Beach. If you would stand, Mike. I can't see anything. Thank you for being here. We have Chairman Bill Dozier of the Bay County Commission and maybe some of the commissioners, if you would stand. Thank you for all that you do. We have Mayor Greg Rudnicki of the city of Panama City and some of the city commissioners. You would stand. And I'm sure that there's some other elected officials that snuck in and they didn't tell me about you, but if you would stand and be recognized, we'd like to thank you very much. Now I have my friend and former Speaker of the House, Alan Bentz. He has some special introductions to make of some real muckety mucks we have visiting.
Go Knowles! You gotta love it. You gotta love it. I told Franklin he needs a gavel, you know, where you can just wham, you know, get. Never worked for me. Probably wouldn't work for either one of us. Yeah, whatever. We're lucky tonight to have 3 sitting state senators in Panama City at this event tonight. That's big time. That is big time. We also have Jay Trumbull, our state representative here tonight. I want to introduce all of them individually. First of all, Representative Trumbull, please stand. He is doing a super job. He is doing a great job in Tallahassee, represents our community well. His wife Brittany is here tonight. And the next Trumbull is on the way somewhere, you know. But Jay, you're doing a great job. Keep it up. We're all proud of you. You're doing a super job. We also have 3 sitting senators. Senator Doug Broxton. Senator, stand up, from Pensacola. He drove all the way over here to be part of this event, and Senator, we really, really appreciate it. We're grateful. We also have a guy named Senator Jack Latvala. I can work you over, Jack, if you want. Leave you alone? Okay, I'll leave you alone. I've known Senator Latvala since I was a freshman 18 years ago in the Florida House. And Jack's pretty tough. He was in the Senate then, he left and came back. I told Jack one day, I said, Jack, no one in the House likes you except me. I'm the only guy that likes you. And I say all that in great fun, in a great jest. Let me tell you something. Senator Jack Latvala is chairman of the Appropriations Committee in the Florida Senate. That's the most powerful committee that we have in the Florida Senate. And I'm honored. We should all be grateful that he's here tonight. Stand up, Jack. Thank you so much, Senator, for being here. And I will tell you, there are 160 members of the Florida House and Senate. He's the brightest. He's the smartest. He's a chess player. He's 5 or 6 steps ahead of everybody. The next senator we have is a guy, I don't know him real well. I don't know. Let me just go ahead and say, hey, everybody, stand up, applaud. George Gaynor is here tonight. Thank you. Yeah. Senator, we appreciate your being here. We know you're all busy, all 3 of you. Senator Broxton, Senator Latvala, Senator Gaynor, we know you're busy. Thank you so much for being here, but have fun, enjoy yourselves, and let me give it back to this gator here, you know.
Thank you, Alan. There was another senator Alan had invited, but unfortunately could not be here, and that's Bill Munford. Bill Munford is a real great voice for public education. There's a lot of rhetoric in the legislature, and there will be in the future, but Senator Munford has worked in the trenches of public education. He understands what happens when the bell rings and the students are there and the teachers are there trying to teach. And he is a strong voice for public education, and we're so glad to have him in the Senate. Where am I? Now I would like to recognize our friends from the Panama City Beach Chamber of Commerce, the staff and the board of directors who have joined us this evening. Please stand and be recognized. You know that it is very important for this community that the 2 chambers work together. And I think that probably now better than any time I have ever seen is the 2 chambers work together and understand what we need for this community. Now, of course, I've saved the best for last. I would like to recognize and honor all of our active duty military and veterans. Please stand and be recognized. Okay, we're going to get on with the show now. Carol has cautioned me about being clean and doing a good job tonight. I will do my very best. So some of the jokes from previous years that she reminded me of, I get it. Okay, I get it. But what I would like to talk to you about is my weight loss. I don't know if y'all have noticed. A number of the women have noticed, and it made me feel really good. It's called 30 pounds. but tell you I'd recommend Jenny Craig over How I Lost It. Guy Tennell and Frank McKeithen have told me for years that there's no such thing as a routine traffic stop. I would like to add to that, there is no such thing as routine surgery. It doesn't exist. A month ago, I had surgery at Gulf Coast Regional Medical Center for the removal of my left kidney because of a malignant tumor that they discovered. Routine laparoscopic surgery. An hour and a half after the surgery, I began an attempt to bleed out while in the recovery room. I was taken back to surgery and got a real incision. I had 23 units of blood. I had CPR for an hour, and at least 5 times they shocked my poor little old heart, and 20 liters of fluids. Words cannot express my gratitude. I'm going to get through this. For the staff, the doctors, people in anesthesia at Gulf Coast Hospital. They refused to give up on me. Some worked all night long. The new CEO of Gulf Coast is here, Brad Griffin. We're glad to have him. I met him last night when I was over at the hospital delivering some thank you gifts. I want to tell you, sir, you have a dream job with the personnel you have at Gulf Coast. Now, on the other side of this, I am here. My brain works no better, but it works as well as it did before. I'm cancer-free, no further treatment. However, I have a real concern. I didn't see a bright light. Is that good or is that, I was there. So is that, I won't write a book. But I don't know what that message is. Is it, you got some more work to do, Betty. You don't really want to go right now. I really don't know. Good or bad. But let me tell you what it does, in all seriousness. It makes you focus on what's important in life. Gator football. I have been sending my money to Gainesville Athletics for years with mixed success. I've got a new idea. With 23 units of blood, can you imagine all the DNA possibilities that I have in this body? I am told with the combination of the DNAs I have and with some hard work on my part, I could become a world-class quarterback. And God knows we need a quarterback in Gainesville. I have years of eligibility left, and that is my goal, along with the Heisman Trophy. We don't have a Heisman Trophy in our family, and I'm working to do that. I want you to stick around, and thank you for all your prayers and everything you've given to me. There's that bright light. Okay, now I would like to introduce Robert Carroll, the 2016 Chairman of the Board. Robert?
Thank you, Franklin. I'm glad to see you're doing so well, and I'm glad you took that wine so I wouldn't spill it during my speech.
It's only my second glass at post-op.
Oh, goodness. Well, Carol tells me in her tenure, and we all know it's been close to 100 years since she started with the chamber. It's a joke. I can say this. I'm outgoing. I can say this. But But during that time, she's never had a chairman run for public office, so I kind of sprung that on her at the last minute. So, but the rest is history. We pulled it off. The chamber's still running, and I'm proud to be one of your Bay County commissioners. So it was a fantastic year. So we need to go ahead and start recognizing some folks. We've got some unbelievable honors to give out tonight. But first, I would like to welcome Michael Sears to please come join me on stage, please. The chairmanship of the Military Affairs Committee is the last step on the Chamber's leadership ladder. Mike Sears has done an amazing job this year. Just to name a few, we've hosted 7 events. Probably the most notable was in honor of General Mark Welsh III, the Chief of Staff of the United States Air Force. We've said farewell and hosted incoming leadership for both Tyndall and the Navy. And of course, there were numerous other opportunities, dinners, etc., that many of us participated in. In addition, the Chamber maintains involvement and support of the Bay Defense Alliance to protect and grow our military installations, and we commend Tom Neubauer and the Bay Defense team for their ongoing efforts. Michael, I want to thank you for your leadership and sincerely wish you the best, and you are truly a has-been now, sir.
Thank you, Robert. And thank you all for being here. Beautiful crowd, beautiful venue as always. So I was the 2016 MAC chairman, and I too was warned by Carol, as you were, Franklin, but mine was not anything about the jokes. It was about, anybody would appreciate this that was here last year, it was about being brief and sticking to the script. So here we go. I want to thank Commander Huggan. It's at the MAC table here. If you'll stand to be recognized, please, for being here this evening and all that you did for us this year. A special thanks to all the chamber members, especially Brandy. Brandy, wherever you are, if you'll please stand. She's an invaluable resource to the chamber and was to me all year long. So Brandy, thank you for all that you did. My parents that are here at the table with us as well, my wife Lynn, thank you. So 2016, it has been a fantastic year for the Military Affairs Committee, as I affectionately call it, the MAC. We started the year celebrating the 70th anniversary of the MAC. I'm very thankful for the foresight of our community leaders 70 years ago. It's been quite a legacy. I personally made many friendships with base commanders, in which some unfortunately had to bid farewell, and others we welcomed with the warmest of Bay County hospitality. One of the highlights during my tenure as chairman was the KC-135 Stratotanker flight, which many of you know refuels the F-22 Raptors while in flight. It was an awesome experience to see that in operation. We had many of our honorary commanders that were able to attend that as well. It was also an honor to host Mr. Randy Brown. For those of you who don't know Mr. Brown, he was director of AFE-CEC, and as through conversations, he made the decision to keep the engineering CC here at Tyndall. And that resulted in over 100 high-wage engineering jobs staying right here in Bay County. That deserves a big round of applause. That was a major accomplishment. And by the applause, I know many of you are already aware that those jobs have been slated to move to Texas. So we're very fortunate to have Mr. Brown on our side there. During that event, I was also able to present something that is very personal to me, as that day was December 7th, we all know, the 75th anniversary of the attacks on Pearl Harbor. My grandparents, both my dad's mother and father, as well as my mother's father, were all in Pearl Harbor the day of the attack. Which obviously meant a lot to me, their survival and being able to share their story of how they survived during those uncertain times. So that was a special day and an honor for me to share that story with the folks that were able to attend that MAC function that evening. I can't say enough about Commander Huggan, the hospitality I received the day that you were gracious enough to bring me out to what I still call the Navy base and give me a behind-the-scenes tour of everything that happens behind the fence there. Incredible operation, and we're truly blessed to have both of the military installations that we have here. I think we all know that here in the room. So I want to thank you for the wonderful memories and that this organization has left me and my family with. Thank you all again.
Exactly. All right, moving on to the next one. So this is the Member of the Year presentation. This person joined the chamber in 2013 and jumped in head first. First, this person joined the Military Affairs Committee and then volunteered to serve on the Tourism Appreciation Task Force, Education Committee, and Industry Appreciation Task Force, and ultimately, he now sits on our board of directors. Our Member of the Year goes above and beyond the call of duty and is there to help with whatever is needed and whenever it's needed. When speaking with the staff, they spoke about his reliability. One staff member said, if he told you he would do something, he's going to do it. They also spoke about how often this person shows up to volunteer for events such as the block party because he believes in serving others and his chamber. This member not only serves the chamber, but our military. After the Civic Leaders Stratotanker flight, this member was approached by a lieutenant colonel asking if he could duplicate the 43rd Fighter Squadron emblem for the main recreation room. This member researched the process and how they wanted it to be mounted and found a guy that has created that type of metal artwork in the past. They were able to create a 36-inch long by 32-inch wide piece of art that was cut out of 11-gauge sheet of steel. The emblem will be permanently encased for members of the 43rd to enjoy. By this time, I'm certain he has figured out that he's the recipient of this award. So if I could introduce your 2016 Member of the Year, Ed Phelan.
Thank you very much. Usually I'm not speechless, but I am at this moment. I am so blessed to be a part of this group. This is the most amazing chamber. If you've not ever been involved with it, you need to. It is, these people do more work in one day than we all even think about. But I am shocked and very pleased, and that my entire family is here with me. Apparently they knew something I didn't. But I want to thank the chamber. Thank you, Carol, wherever you are. I appreciate this very much, and I'll treasure it. Thank you. I forgot to thank my wife.
Good call. Good call.
She reminded me.
Good call. Good call. I love you, Sharon. And now I'd like to introduce our presenter for the prestigious Lauren Merriam Memorial Award, who is he's the 2011 recipient, Mr. Glenn McDonald.
Good evening, everyone. I have to tell you that I arrived early tonight to check on things with Franklin. And he told me a couple of things. He told me, first of all, he had not seen the light. And I said, Franklin, gators only see spotlights. The other thing that he didn't tell you was that in the morning he's going to Hawaii, and he took a hard turn and lost 30 pounds so he'll look good in a bathing suit. So I'm here tonight to present the Loring Merriam Award, and Loring Merriam is remembered for his personal involvement, the generous contribution of his time, and for the high standards he set for unselfish service to our community. Mr. Merriam's wit and wonderful sense of humor was often used to remind us to never take anything too seriously, especially ourselves. There have been over 40 recipients of this award, and over 10 are here with us this evening, and sadly a few have left us. This year we lost the 1998 winner, a great American and legendary community leader, Mr. Joe Chapman. We also lost our 2003 Member of the Year this week, Miss Elisa Kinsall. Elisa was a wonderful person and would like nothing better than for us to smile, laugh, and celebrate our chamber together tonight. I will tell you, she also truly loved tonight's award winner. Our 2016 awardee was born in Colorado Springs, Colorado in September of 1942. Their greatest motivation is the ghost of their mother telling them, wake up and be the best that you can be. And later on, forget about all those tall, skinny girls. Go get up and be the best that you can be. Our 2016 awardee has broken many molds in their life, in their professional career, in public office, and in comedy. She worked for Charlie Hilton and what is now GAC Contractors beginning in December of 1961 and retired as vice president. During her early years, as you can imagine, it was a man's world. And she busted right in and pulled herself right up to the table. She was the first Republican woman ever to be elected to the Bay County Commission in 1992. She was our Chamber's Member of the Year in 1997. She was a charter of the Bay Defense Alliance in 1988, a charter member, and she took many trips to D.C. with the military and with the National Government Committee and the Bay Defense Alliance, which is where I have met her. She's always loved helping people and spent 15 years in Panama City JCs and many years helping the Girl Scouts of Appalachia Bend. She was on the Airport Authority when the new terminal was built at the old site. Our 2016 awardee loves the Seminoles, Christmas, and weirdly later in life, Russell Crowe. She's been known to have a very sharp wit, and several times she was our first Friday MC beginning in the 90s until she got a little bit too sharp. Her favorite experience, this is my favorite, her favorite experience is watching the sun set over every square inch of Disney World. And finally, our awardee holds a very special place in my heart. She has a deep love for Bay County and all the businesses that make up our chamber. Many of you may not know that she's a big reason that ARA is still here in Bay County. In 1998, the Air Force cut the funding for the Air Force Research Laboratory at Tyndall, then our only customer. Due to her seats on the county commission, the BDA, the Chamber's National Government Committee, she knew all of our elected officials in D.C., and they trusted her. I remember sitting on Capitol Hill with her StarTAC flip phone. How many of you remember the StarTAC flip phone? In my hand, when things did not look so good. She looked at me and said, Glenn, we're going to fix this, and we did together. She has done so many things for us, for me in this community. I'm so proud tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, it's my pleasure to present the 2016 Loring Merriam Award to Miss Carol Atkinson.
Thank you, Glenn, thank you all. I didn't even know I was coming to this banquet till yesterday. I mean, these people did an excellent job. You didn't even, oh my goodness. Y'all, this is my brother Paul. I didn't know you were coming either. And his lovely wife, Linda. I got some advice from Derwin earlier today, and he's laughing because this is part of his advice. He told me to look gorgeous and keep my mouth shut. And then everybody in the office told me I was going to do good at the look gorgeous part, but they weren't betting on the keep my mouth shut. I knew Loren Merriam. He came to my house to Christmas parties. My mother-in-law worked for him for years and years. I knew many of those preceding me in receiving this award because I started so young and just full force ahead. I never stopped. I'm so proud to receive this award and to know the people who have received it before me, and to know that Loren would be proud of me because he always called me that girl. He'd call Charlie and he'd say, Charlie, what can that girl do that so-and-so? They all called me that girl for about 3 or 4 years till I finally got a name. And it was a wonderful experience growing up in this county, growing up in a law office where Dempsey Barron was the head partner. And Charlie Hilton was there, and he didn't care what they called me. He knew I could help him because I knew how to do math. Dempsey knew I could help him because if he would tell me how many cows he had and how much hay he had rolled up in bales and how much each cow ate each day during the winter, that I could take that information and tell him how much feed he'd have to buy so he could buy it early when it was still cheap. I wasn't old enough to buy a car. At 19, I couldn't vote. I couldn't drink. I couldn't do any of that stuff, but I could help Dempsey figure out how much feed he had to buy for his cows. And I was privileged in the people I was associated with at my life working for Hilton. Alan is one. Where's Derwin? I'm going to get you, boy. But it's been a thrill. I can't even talk. This is so wonderful. And everybody has been so nice tonight. I wonder how many of them knew. 40? Glenn says 40 knew. I am so thrilled to receive this award. And on behalf of my family and Paul, my brother, and my children, thank you so much. And isn't it great to live in Panama City, Florida?
We love you.
Right. Well, congratulations to all the award winners. I know we've all got big shoes to fill. Well, I guess this is my last hurrah. In a few minutes, I can call myself the has-been. So, as I said earlier, we've had an amazing year. We've juggled hundreds of meetings and events, and all I was about to say couldn't happen without the staff at the chamber. Carol, I know you're probably pacing the back hall back there, watching me like a hawk. But would you and the staff please stand and be recognized? Well, in my opinion, we've got 3 major highlights from this past year. We met and exceeded our membership goal. We started the year out with 955 members and set the goal for 1,000. We met the goal by October and closed the year with 1,012 members. That's remarkable. I'm sure you've also heard about the awards that they won. They won 5 awards in September, Chamber of the Year for the 3rd time. 3rd time. It just makes me proud to be part. This year we also went through the recertification process. Not only did we obtain it, but met specific criteria to be a certified plus chamber. Not everybody can say that. This says a lot about our chamber and the role not only that we play locally, but to be recognized by our peers for them to recognize us for that. Thirdly, probably the most major success of passing is the passing of the infrastructure surtax this year. Our community will now have approximately $20 million annually to improve our roads and many other infrastructure needs. To do this, we formed the Chamber's first ever political committee, Building a Better Bay. For the record, no dues dollars that any membership paid went to spend on the campaign. It was fully funded by private contributions. And I dare any of you to be chairman, run for office, and promote a tax. Dare you, dare you. We want to thank all of our partners who helped in educating the community, the Bay County Association of Realtors, the Panama City Beach Chamber, Bay EDA, Bay County Contractors Association, and the Bay Building Industries Association. And most importantly, all the cities in the county, they played a vital role in educating the public on the critical needs. I know I need to wrap this up. I was getting carried away, but we could go on and on and on. But my remarks will not be complete without recognizing a couple of groups of people. If you served on the 2016 or are serving on the 2017 Board of Directors, please stand. No one going to stand? Every one of you makes this organization tick, so we can't do it without the Board of Directors, and thank you all. So I want to thank for all the wonderful memories that I've had this past year for me and my family. I want to especially thank my wife, Sharon. You're the glue that keeps us together and allow me to do this, so I thank you for that. Yeah, she needs several rounds of applause. And also my business partner, Sean, who was a former chairman of this organization as well, and I thank you for stepping up to the plate and allowing me to do this. All right, Claire, it's that time. It's time to hand it off to you. Your 2017 chairman, Claire Sherman.
All right. I should have a clap. Thank you very much. Thank you. Wow. And Franklin, I need that plaque right there, please, sir. Oh, you already got it? I know, now I get to take
That didn't take long at all. Supposed to say something else.
I have said enough.
Alan's at the right size.
You gotta go. Robert, I'm without words. Thank you for everything that you have accomplished this year. Congratulations on such a successful tenure. And you certainly have set the bar very high for me. Thank you very much. Robert deserves such applause. Thank you for everything that you've done. Appreciate that. Thank you very much. Oh my goodness, Franklin, I see the light. Wow, it's bright. I'm feeling good. Thank you very much. Well, we usher in today a new year and a new challenge. We will build on our past achievements, and we look forward to expanding the many opportunities presented to us for our future. We go forward into 2017 with the goal of building our community. We have an aggressive business plan for 2017. We aspire to grow this organization and continue our strong support for local commerce to improve our community. We've also set a few major strategic goals for this year. We want to take an active role in Triumph Gulf Coast. It's at the top of the list. We want to continue our involvement and our support of the Panama City revitalization. We want to encourage business and industry diversification. And we want to support the concept of a special events center. Moreover, we encourage you to get involved. We encourage you to be engaged with our chamber. Only with your support can we orchestrate building a better Bay. Thank you.
You gotta love Bay High. Very good. Thank y'all very much. It was wonderful, invigorating, emotional, but wonderful. It says here closing remarks. How about that? Wow. We want to thank Nick Estaffiou, did I get it right? The band director, for this lovely performance. All right, we've been talking about wives. I didn't say anything about my wonderful wife, Linda. She worked in anesthesia at Gulf Coast Hospital for 30 years. Thank God she didn't piss somebody off. Or maybe she did. I mean, I don't know which it is. She'd have been going through the insurance papers. Now, there are two people, or a group of people, that we really need to thank. The person who put all of this together on the chamber staff, Elizabeth Smith. Elizabeth, where are you? She's over there. She did all of this. And we also need to thank Carol Roberts, who was not at the first chamber meeting, but probably the second. She and all of her staff, if you're here, please stand up and thank you so much for a wonderful evening. Carol, there's stories I cannot tell. But there are two quotes that I recall from First Friday. The first one was, it was Frank's birthday. And you announced to everybody at First Friday that you knew what he wanted for his birthday. And he wasn't going to get it. That's one of the reasons she didn't do First Friday for a while. And secondly, I remember her saying that she spent her first 50 years trying to be taller. And she intended to spend her second 50 years trying to be thinner, and thought she would have the same amount of success. The truth is, you've had much more success. Congratulations. I didn't do that. Congratulations, Carol. Nobody deserves it more than you. Okay, I need to run through the sponsors who wrote the checks one more time before you start. Edgewater Beach and Golf Resort is a platinum sponsor. The media sponsor, Cleaver Media Works. Gold sponsors, Ameris Bank, Barron and Redding, PA, Bill Kramer Chevrolet Cadillac Buick GMC. Early Childhood and Care, Geico, Gulf Coast State College, FSU, Panama City. I've given money to those folks. It's a good school. As long as it doesn't go to Tallahassee, I'm in favor of it. Harrison Sale McClory, attorneys at law. Health South, NAI Tile Corps, Sweet Bay, and West Rock. And thank you to all of our table sponsors as well. All right, here's a little more commercial. You still have 1 hour before the silent auction closes. Go bid and spend your money. We want to thank all of our silent auction donors. A portion of the proceeds goes towards the Junior Leadership Bay program. In 1 hour, you get ready, I'll be back. And we're going to have a drawing with a big chance to win. If you've not purchased your tickets yet, you need to talk to the Leadership Bay Steering Committee, who will be going around hawking these tickets, and you need to buy them. Thank you for your celebration and you being here. Another great year at the Bay County Chamber, and I can tell you, Claire is going to do a wonderful job next year. Thank you.